Welcome guys, brand new That White Volvo video, and I'm super excited to make this one because I'm gonna install my new polyurethane bushings today. And those things are actually quite a pain in the ass because my bolts are stuck inside of the car. So you saw in the previous video, in the last part, in the very short part, that Wiz and I were cutting out a weird metal piece from the car. And I just grabbed it. This weird metal piece, and this weird metal piece with all those cuts over there is actually inside of your upper torsion bar, and this is what should be in there. This is a bushing, and there were bushings in there. This shell I showed you is just the outer shell of a original bushing. It's a metal ring, this one, with a rubber insert and a metal bush inside of it, and the rubber can vibrate and rotate and everything, so your car will drive smoothly. These are polyurethane bushings. This is a it's a foam compound like material. It's not a natural product, so it can dry out, and these will last longer than my car will ever last, I think. But why it's a Volvo, so maybe, I don't know. But these things are much stiffer than the original Volvo rubber bushings that almost every car has right now. But the thing we need to do is, when I take it apart with one hand, the good thing about these ones, they come in two pieces. So what we can do, we can push the old one out, push this side in, push the other side in, and we're there. But my bolt inside of my car is actually stuck inside of this metal bushing. So what I did, I found some bolts here. Actually, I found one. I need to find another one. But this bolt, it's a coated bolt, so it's a good bolt to use in my car. Yeah, I have one, so I can cut out my other one. I bought some new Dremel cutting discs to get the bushings out, the outer shell, and I'm gonna show you guys this because I got some questions on Instagram and stuff about how you do this, and yeah, I want to show you guys. And yeah, the first part of this video is all gonna go about how you lift your car up, how you get to these bushings, and what you can do to actually get them out. My upper ones are already changed. I did it in the previous video with a very short amount of video time. But yeah, it was late in the evening. Wiz and I were both done. We worked, well, I worked from 8 o'clock in the morning till like 9 in the evening, just on my car alone. So yeah, I was very tired. But let's get the car inside, let's lift it up, and let's show you guys where these are actually located and how you can get your bolt out. And yes, it contains a metal saw and a cutting disc and a grinder and everything else. So be prepared. Oh, and by the way, for you guys that are wondering, my finger, which I cut with a angle grinder, is doing awesome. It's a tiny cut. They put 2 stitches in it without an injection, so it hurt like hell, but it doesn't hurt anymore right now, so I'm fine. I just got a band-aid on it right now, and in about Tuesday they can get it out. So it's Friday now. I think in 5 days or something it's all gonna go well again. I can bend it a little bit again. It hurts, so not your problem. But thanks for all the nice messages on YouTube and Instagram and everything. I just love that. I just love that you guys are so passionate about watching my videos, and I'm so passionate about making these. So hit that subscribe button, get that car inside, and let's start out with the video. Let's go. So guys, what do you need to do this job? Of course, you need some new bushings, and this video is gonna go about how do you get those ridiculously rusted out bolts out of there without hurting yourself, your car, or blowing up your fuel tank using an angle grinder or anything like that. So what I did, these just metal saws, they cost me €1.50 each. So I got $3 worth of tools over there. I have my Dremel over here, and this thing is actually quite handy. because this is actually just a tiny cutting disc. So here I have my Dremel cutting discs, metal cutting discs. This little box was $11, but yeah, you can't change anything about that. And this is actually one of those cutting discs. This one is of course broken, but what this does, it goes over there and you have a tiny angle grinder. And that is how I cut out my outer metal rings, which are also rusted shut inside of those upper torsion bars. So, to show you guys what an old bushing looks like, this is the inside. This is the inside of my old bushing, and I just used a normal power drill with a huge drill bit to get this one out. These are the upper ones, so I can show you guys in a minute, but you have one of those bushings on top of here, and you have one on top of here underneath the car. And what this section of the car does is you have your axle, you have your lower control arm, you have your upper control bars, how you want to call them, I don't know. Everyone I talk to call them differently, but these ones keep your axle stable. So these bars on the top keep your axle from tipping over that way or that way. So when these bushings are shot, your axle will just be able to like wobble around like that, and that's not a good thing to have in your car. So these are the old ones, and this one comes inside of this metal bushing. This is also the way normal car shops do this. They have a press, they put your control arm in there, press out the old bushing, press in the new bushing, and you're done. The good thing about polyurethane bushings is these ones fit like a glove in there, so it just slides in. Sometimes you need to use a little bit of grease, but then they will just pop in and then you're done. So this is a two-part thing and it just slides over like that. Then you put your bolt through it, you mount it, and you're done. So let's get the car up in the air. I'm going to use my jack stands to get the car itself in the air, because if you just lift your rear axle, that is not a good idea, because you will be disconnecting your rear axle. And yeah, when your car is standing on your rear axle and you're going to disconnect it, your car will fall down. So don't do that. So guys, the car is up in the air. I got my jack stands under it. Always put your wheel in front of there. I just do that to be safe, that my car can't fall on top of me when I'm underneath it, because there will always be a strong rim to support it. But yeah, over here you can see it already. This bolt needs to come out, and this is my replacement bolt, but this one in here is just completely stuck. This bar is rusted like crazy, and I don't know if you can see it because it's very dark in there, but oh yeah, you can. Over there you see a tiny blue edge, and that tiny blue edge is my new bushing, and that is actually this one. So some tricky camera work here. Over there you see the bushing. That's the one Wiz and I replaced already, so that bolt will come loose. That's no problem at all. But the problem we have is that this one won't come loose. In the back of this one are two brake lines, and that's also very hard. Let's turn on a flash. So as you can see here are two brake lines running there, and the nut we need to loose is over there. So this is a very difficult spot to work in. So the thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna disconnect my shock, I'm gonna disconnect my spring, and then this complete axle will just fall down a bit. And then we can try to use that saw I bought and try to saw through the bolt over there and on the other side, so we can smack that thing out. And yeah, then replace it with a new bushing, replace the bolt, paint the complete control arm, and then we are done. So let's start off with one side, because I couldn't find another bolt yet. I will try to find another one, or I will pick up a new one. But for the video, we are just going to start with this one. So yeah, let's run the clip and get to work. Let's go. So guys, look at this. This is the bar I am talking about. The new bushing is over here, disconnected it already. This is the other side, this is the one we need to get loose. The only thing I did to get this much room in here is I disconnected my shock mount at the top, and always do that with a jack underneath your diff. That's a very good solution to get the tension of this, because of course when you lift your car up in the air without any wheels on it and everything, your axle will fall down and there will be, like, I think this thing will weigh around 100 kilos or something, so this thing will be pulled down very hard. So use a jack stand, or use a jack, I mean, get your axle in the air and relieve this tension of here. Then disconnect your spring, lower your jack, pull this one off before, lower your jack, your tension will just slide off evenly and you can pull out your spring. So after doing that, we need to cut out this one. So let's get underneath and let's start cutting away. So guys, look at this. I finally got it out. It took me about an hour of just sawing and hurting my back, hurting my stitch finger, and yeah, this is the glove I had on when I cut my finger, very ironically. But here we have it. Here's the torsion bar. So this thing is pretty rusted out, as you can see, and this bushing is just completely shut. I didn't do this, so this thing should have made a whole lot of noise and stuff when driving down the road. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna use my power drill and just drill this rubber piece out. Then I'm gonna clean it off. I'm actually gonna clean this complete thing off. Then I'm gonna paint it, push it, put a new rubber in it, put this new rubber in there, and then this should be just perfect. Oh, I'm so happy, guys. Okay, let's go on. Let's clean this bad boy. Look at the mess I made. Look at this. Let's go, guys. Come on, let's go. So guys, awesome. I don't know why I slapped it that hard, but I got it out. Here it is. This is that old, broken, rusty, dirty outside of that, that bushing. As you can see, there are actually holes inside of it. It's that old. So I don't know how long it's been since that is replaced, but yeah, you saw the old bushing, so that is a long time ago. But over here I have my arm, and as you can see, I made a little too deep cut over there, but this is just a scratch because it's very thick metal, and as you can see, this is not gonna harm this piece in any kind of way. As you can see over there, it's a very scratch too, but I've been driving with that side for a week now and that drives awesome. But well, with one side broken, it wouldn't be good for a long time. I don't know where I left the old bushing, but oh, here it is. But as you can see, the inside metal piece where the bolt is still stuck inside of, it has so much playroom in there. And that's because rubber is a natural product and it will deteriorate over time. So how old your rubber, the older your rubber is going to be, the older and the wobblier and the breakier and the I don't know, the bad things will happen. So yeah, that's this is a old bushing. And over here we have the new ones. This is polyurethane, like I said before, and these will just, as you can see, I can just push them in like this. And they are so easy to install. And I am holding a camera. So the thing we're going to do now is clean this thing up. As you can see over here, it's rusty. Then as you go down, there it's shiny old Volvo factory, I think, paint. And I can even spot down here some blue things. And I guess that's a factory sticker. But we'll see. I'll clean this thing out completely. Then I have a special kind of coating that is down here. This is bitumen undercoating. I know, guys, I hate undercoating, but this stuff is different than the stuff that's on here. This is some kind of super thick layer, and this is just actually black paint that will stick on there and protect it. I did a test piece and it's this. So it's kind of soft. You can like scratch it a bit with your finger, but it will keep your parts protected. If you want to do it the correct way, you can also use some primer or some zinc spray and protect your parts to the max. So let's start a time lapse. Let's clean this stuff out and then put this one back into the car. And then we have finally some perfectly fine, beautiful blue bushings in there. Let's go. So guys, look at this. I painted this bar and it looks awesome. The only problem I have with it right now is that it doesn't dry very good. And I think it has to do with the primer underneath it. The guy advised me to do it with the other stuff. I did use the anti-gravel overspray eventually and not the other can I showed you earlier. But yeah, it works and it's black, so I can put it in without touching the paint, so I should be fine. But I'm gonna show you how you actually put those rubber things inside. And what you need to do is take your finger and apply a bit of this weird looking grease. It looks like airwax. It's dirty as hell. But yeah, use a bit of that stuff like I did on this side. And then just squish it in. So when you have one done, just put it in there, squish your bushing in there and put the bar back in your Volvo. So yeah, that's it, let's go. And would you look at that? It looks so much better than it did before. New bushings, new bolt, new nut. Everything looks perfect. So this thing needs to go up there, but I can't do that yet because I need to change the other side. And yeah, that's something that's actually the same as this one. So what I need to do is cut out the other side with my stupid broken saw without any teeth, as you can see. And yeah, that is not something I am gonna bore you guys with. You guys know how to change your top bar, torsion bar, upper upper arms, I don't know how you call it. I don't know how you want to call it, but you know how to change those bushings. And they are actually the same for any piece, any bushing in the car. Take your part out, make sure that you get the old bushing out of there, and you are fine. Like you saw before, this is the old one, and I pushed it back into its original housing. So yes, you need to cut out the old metal part. There is a tiny ridge on the side of your control arm or your torsion bar or your panhard bar or anything, and you need to cut that out. You can use a metal saw, you can use a grinder, like I did, a Dremel, a tiny grinder, or anything else, maybe even a press, but you will get it done. It's quite an easy job. You just need to take a whole lot of things apart, and when they do come apart, it's so much easier than what I had to do, like cutting bolts open. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and yeah, I love making these videos for you guys, and I see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.